Hello everyone, I'm Mike Smithkey. I'm going to be taking over here for a little bit. Sorry I couldn't make it. I'm currently out of state, unfortunately, so I get to do this from my living room. But I'll go ahead and dive right into it. I did the SWOT diagram for our team, which basically identifies the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to the company. So we'll go ahead and we'll start diving into it. We'll get into the strengths of Uber, which is its brand name. Everybody knows who Uber is. It's basically synopsis with ride sharing. If you're going out for the night, you say we're going to order an Uber. Doesn't mean necessarily you're going to use the company Uber, but everybody knows what that means. You're going to use some type of ride sharing service. So it's essentially just like Coca-Cola. People know who that is. So that is their biggest strength. Kind of can be a little bit of their weakness as well, because they do have a troubled past, but we'll get into that here in a second. Another one of their big strengths is the market share. Currently Uber controls about 70 to 73% of the marketplace here in the United States. Overseas that's even greater, as they're pretty much the primary major source of ride sharing in other countries. They're currently located in approximately 60 countries right now and over 400 different cities. By far and away, way more than any other ride sharing group. The cities, that keeps growing every single day as we speak. It's probably actually a lot higher than that. We're just talking about major cities, Getting into the weakness, I mentioned the troubled past. Uber's definitely had its share of that. They've had a couple issues in the past with sexual harassment claims against their employees, drivers. They didn't do a very good job of dealing with that. Basically, they tried to have it handled by an arbitrator, so it was hidden from the public. They're now moving forward, want to be a little bit more transparent in the way they do business, open to the public. They've also had issues with lawsuits for other things, whether it's bad driver hiring practices. They've gotten in trouble with hackers. They try to cover that up, paying them off basically. Not a very, very good pass for them. So also another weakness for them, their service it's not really proprietary. Anybody can copy them. There's a little bit of trouble getting into the marketplace. Financially, it's not the easiest business to enter, but there's really nothing stopping anyone except for money. They don't really have any patents on the idea. A couple minor patents on technology and stuff, but it's not going to stop anybody. Opportunities for the company, again, expansion, growing that market share even further. They do have the financial support for that. They have a real strong backing with big-time investors. We're talking billions and billions of dollars. Again, other companies don't have that, so they're able to expand much faster. And the delivery services they're getting into. Uber Eats, I've used it quite a few times. It's a great service. It doesn't stop there. They can use courier services for, in big cities, instead of, a bank having to send something over mail. They can, hire these guys to run it across town for them real quick. Threats to the company, competition. Again, we touched on that in the weaknesses. It's not proprietary. Anybody can get into the game. They just have to have the skin to do so. And then the future negative public relations. They've had trouble in the past, so they gotta clean that up, or companies like Lyft is eventually going to catch up to them. So let me just pause real quick while I switch to the other slide real quick. All right, now we're getting into Porter's 5 analysis. This basically breaks down what it takes the competition to enter into the marketplace that they are in and produce a rivalry to them. So the barriers to entry, can other companies get into the market share or the marketplace that they're in? It's pretty low. It takes a lot of capital requirements to get your brand out there. the technology development. Again, it's going to take some doing to do, and then the marketing and customer acquisition. Again, that goes back to capital requirements. Getting to the customers, getting your name out there, it's going to take a little bit of doing. The buyer's power, which is basically the customer, very high. They have a lot of influence because basically they have a lot of options. They can use Uber, Lyft, a taxi, friends. The customer has all the power in that. And people keep buying cars. It's actually, car ownership is going up. Used to be single car families. Now everybody in their car has, or everybody in the family has a car. So that's something they gotta to make sure they want people, provide people the opportunity for them to want to use their service. Suppliers, that's the driver. Their bargaining power, it's a little low. There's no union. They're easy to acquire. They have a huge turnover rate. Uber just doesn't really care. I mean, they'll just find somebody else to drive for them. There's plenty of people out there wanting to make a couple extra dollars over the weekend. And then the threat of substitutes. It's also very high. Kind of goes hand in hand with the barriers to entry. Not proprietary. Any company can do it. There's really no distinctions among services. That's the big issue that we think the company needs to focus in on in order to succeed. They want to make their service stand out to others. Why would you choose Uber over Lyft? There's no difference. Same driver, same car. Basically, it's just price point you're arguing over with currently. But we have a couple ideas for that moving forward. So we're going to move on. Don't want to spend too much time here. It's kind of reflecting back to the SWOT analysis, kind of overlapping a lot there. So moving on to the marketing aspect. Going to give you a kind of brief summary of this. The keys to success, we feel, with Uber is in their marketing. Number one, restore the public image. Don't want people to remember the negative history they've had. We want them to move on and think of Uber as a good company. Key to doing that is transparency. No more cover-ups, no more paying hackers to destroy the data that was breached from them. Instead, make it public information now. Fess up to your mistakes and don't try to cover it up. We also think they have an opportunity for a lot of campaign stunts, such as anti-DUI platforms and partnerships with MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They've done that a little bit in big cities for special events. It's actually gained them a lot of good press, and it's free. Basically offering free rides for a short period of time after major events where people are drinking, consuming lots of alcohol. Say, hey, if you use our company tonight, it's free, get home safe, we'll pay the drivers. You don't have to worry about it. I think they should do a little bit more of that to help out their public image. And lastly, but not least, we want them to further develop their brand loyalty. We want people to choose Uber over Lyft, not simply because of the price. Don't want to get into price wars with a company where the prices just keep dropping and neither company can make profit. We want people to choose Uber because of the experience, and we want to reward frequent users. We want you to choose Uber over Lyft because you get something in return. So we thought a good idea going forward would be a royalty program, or a loyalty program, I should say, that basically rewards riders. Say for every 10 rides they take, they get one free up to a $10 value. I have to do a little bit more research as far as the cost analysis on that. It's kind of hard on a company that's privately owned, not publicly traded. So a lot of their finances are hidden. So we do think there is opportunity there going forward, though. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on this. Fellow students, they will carry on from here. Hope y'all have a great day and take care.